So some of you may remember that there was a potential leak going around about Capcom and how they might be changing their policies and they might be going woke. Well, it seems that the leak is true as they are going around copyright striking content creators that have been making spicy mods for characters in their games. Good job shooting yourself in the foot there, Capcom. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So, it looks like the leaks were true, because Capcom has now changed up their policies, and it looks like they're going full Puritan, because they're going after content creators that are creating spicy mods of characters in their games, and they're striking them. I mean, this is ridiculous, and it looks like those leaks were accurate, though, because if everybody remembers, about a month ago, which we're going to go over them a little bit, about how there was a hack at Capcom, and it seems that the leaks were talking about how they were going to change their policies and get woke. Well, looks like this is what's happened. And before we get into the video, I want to make a shout out to Black Sage D, as he was talking about this. I saw this information from him, and he stated, "So in other words, let's live stream indie games. Great, glad to see you give the little guys a leg up, Capcom." Yeah, I mean, at this point, people are going to start supporting more indie games because you see all these big companies like Capcom bending the knee, getting woke, and censoring games. And so we're going to take a look at this. So this article comes from Senkaku Complex. Capcom video policy forbids content that is Istinphobic. So it looks like they have done exactly what the leaks were talking about. So let's get into this article. Capcom has seemingly started putting its newfound knowledge in certain groups' rights and diversity to use, as they are now putting limitations on their adoring consumers in regards to fan content, as both videos and mods that are illegal, Istinphobic, spicy, explicit, disparaging, promotes certain crimes, or otherwise offensive are not tolerated. Now, what this means is, while in this policy they state they're not going to go after people that have commentary over the videos on certain things, like say you're talking about certain events of the world, like the Puritans being butthurt over some word, something like that. Well, they'll probably come in there and they'll go, I don't like that. I don't like they're using our game like that. No, censor it. They'll just abuse the copyright system and then probably get it taken down. They say they're not going to do that within this policy, but I bet they would. I mean, look at what happened with The Last of Us Part 2 and Naughty Dog. Those leaks, for example, when you look at that, right? They went after people for just talking about them, just giving an opinion. They abused copyright and went after people that gave an opinion. So I wouldn't be surprised if Capcom does this. I mean, this is a terrible policy, and they're going to show that they're already abusing the copyright system, because they went after a YouTuber by the name of Vatwa, their video called Nude Mod for Jill Bad Cop. And apparently, this person created their own mod, and they're already abusing the system. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous, and it's dumb. I mean, if you look at it, this person, they published it on May 26th of 2020. So last year in May, and then on December, they got hit for it. Like on December 4th, as you can see here. So they're now going after mods that creators are making themselves, okay? This is within fair use, but they're abusing fair use. You would think this would be protected under it, but now they're going after it. And so this would not surprise me in the slightest if we see commentary channels that have video game footage in the background that are of Capcom games. Wouldn't surprise me if Capcom starts going after them. I mean, this wouldn't be surprising, and we've seen these game companies many times over go after content creators and abusing copyright just to take them down for things that they didn't like, which should naturally be protected under fair use, and then they just abuse that power. I mean, it's ridiculous stuff, and it seems that Capcom is doing the same. The entire video policy, which will seem familiar to any individual paying attention to the game industry's antics for the past few years. And as you can see here, you can see where things have changed, but one thing within the guideline is this, which this is the most important one that I want to look at. Audience appropriate. All fan-created content should be appropriate for the audience of the Capcom games. For example, if you take game content for younger audience and make it objectionable, we reserve the right to take it down. And here's the funny thing. The mod was Resident Evil. That is an adult-rated game. That's a mature game. So Why was that a problem? That's what I asked. Like, why is that a problem? You see, it just goes back to Capcom just abusing their power, which is absolutely ridiculous. And just remember, it usually starts off small, and then as we all know, it progressively gets worse. And so, as you can see, if they're doing it with spicy mods for characters, right, then you better believe that they will go after any content creator that says things that they disagree with, that they see as wrong thing. Which is stupid, because what they're doing here is, like I said, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Because, whenever people were to make mods, or whenever people were to have commentary and it shows their game footage, that's like free advertisement. That's like a way to get people interested in the games. So what they're doing is they're basically just shooting themselves in the foot, because that can get people invested in their games by seeing the footage. But apparently Capcom doesn't want the money. They're more about trying to protect fictional characters. Oh my dear God. I mean, this is exactly what it is again. And looking at Niche Gamer's article, because this is what I wanted to go back over a little bit, because you look at it, it seems that the leaks were actually right. Because if you may recall last year, what happened with the Resident Evil 3 remake? Jill Valentine, her outfit was censored. So there's already that right there. And it looks like this may have actually been true after all, that they were starting to change things, especially considering that they just went after a content creator back in December. So I wanted to take a look at this. Among the documentation includes a presentation on political correctness and advertising materials, and how to avoid drama and controversy. This includes avoiding the use of language that can be deemed as discriminatory or prejudice, and will result in new guidelines for each region's PR and advertising material creators. Even so, some of the documentation discusses what to do and what to avoid as though it applied to game designers, though this may be a result of how it was translated into English. This includes cosmetic options, only featuring certain ethnicities or portraying them as unequal or stereotypical, and avoiding spicy and obscene language and jokes unless inevitable based on the context of the story or narrative. Spiciness, LGBTQ, and women were also discussed. One slide features The Last of Us Part 2 and Shadow of the Tomb Raider as being positive examples of those characters, and such characters should be portrayed as appealing as male characters and promoted in the same way. In other words, meaning sexy woman man, and then they're going to have all their female characters look like pro golfer Abby. That's exactly what they're going to do. Capcom's going to go down the woke route. Get ready. See, more reason to not support Capcom. Capcom do know that certain regions view the characters negatively. Meanwhile, Nintendo's Princess Peach and Zelda were used as examples of negative stereotypes of women due to being damsels in distress. This is in spite of the image used for Zelda being from Breath of the Wild, where the character takes a more proactive role, which both Peach and Zelda have been shown as strong, independent women characters. That's really dumb that they would say that they aren't. I mean, seriously, it's so stupid. It really is. The presentation also asked to deter the localizers of different regions and vendors to make sure certain content is appropriate. In other words, meaning they're going to appeal to the Puritans. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to appeal to the Puritans, and that's the change. So get ready. They're going to ruin the games that people love and enjoy. That's what Capcom is going to do here. That's exactly what they're going to do. Examples include Arab localization and content featuring pigs, the use of happy holidays over Merry Christmas, and numbers or expressions that may refer to the World War II villain party. This is absolutely absurd. This is ridiculous. The presentation recommends characters that appeal to a wide range of people, with male and female player characters being treated the same within a video game. Custom characters should be able to have any haircut or facial hair and various body types. Oh dear God. Spicy appeal, such as bikini costumes and lewd poses and costumes, should be equal between men and women and serve a purpose in the context of the story. However, costumes cannot appeal to only one kind of user base. Well, what this tells me is, go more to indie games. I mean, seriously, Capcom, oh, you shot yourself in the foot. You have just shot yourself in the foot this way. And don't expect people to stream your games now. Because, if I were to stream games, I wouldn't be streaming a Capcom game. Not after this. No way. No way. And it goes to show that it looks like these leaks were real after all. Looks like these leaks may have actually been telling you what was to come, that they may have been accurate. Because it looks like it's more and more true as we're starting to see things go forward. Because with them going after creators that can create spicy mods, and then they're just going after them and abusing fair use, which goes to show how far Capcom has fallen, as well as how much worse they're going to get in the future. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you were new here, and make sure you were still subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.